So the other day I was trying to call my cousin on his mobile phone and he was not available, and also he didn't even have voicemail enabled on his phone. So then I thought about a fallback option. So then I thought that I could call his home phone, and then I called his home phone and left a voice message for him. So that was a fallback option. So when Configuration Manager clients, they will try to communicate with Configuration Manager, they send status messages through management point. So what if management point is not available? So what will be the fallback option? So the fallback option can be fallback status point. So this is what we are going to discuss in this video. Hello IT pros, this is Jay Singh. Welcome to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at thisisjaysingh, and also if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and also click on the bell icon as well to get all the latest updates and news from this channel. Any links mentioned in this video, you will find it in the description below. And let's get started. This video is part of Configuration Manager Lab Setup video series. If you have not checked out previous videos of this video series, you can check them out. I will leave a card somewhere here and you can click on the card and find all the videos. Alright, so fallback status point. So what is fallback status point? So fallback status point is used by Configuration Manager clients when management point is not available to send the messages during installation or post installation. For example, if you're trying to install Configuration Manager client on a computer and computer cannot communicate with the management point, then the client will go back to fallback status point and tell the reason why it couldn't communicate, or it will send the error message to the fallback status point. Okay, so let's relate this to the example which I mentioned earlier. So when I was trying to reach my cousin, so in this case clients are trying to reach management point, so my cousin wasn't available on his mobile phone, so I left a message through home phone. So in this case, clients, when they can't reach management point, so they will leave a message with fallback status point. So the fallback status point will come into action at that time. So remember, if I call my cousin on the phone, so it will be one-to-one chat. So I will talk to my cousin directly, but in this case, I left a voice message at his place, which means someone else can check it out as well. So similar thing will happen in fallback status point. Fallback status point, it talks over HTTP, so which means the connection from the client to FSP is not secure. So it sends all the messages in clear text. There are a few things you must consider when you deploy fallback status point. So the very first is you must specify where is fallback status point. Otherwise clients, they wouldn't have a clue where to go and where to leave the messages. And the second thing is, this is very important. The second thing is very important. The communication which FSP will use, fallback status point will use, that communication is HTTP only, which means it's sending the messages over clear text. So security is a concern and you should consider this as well. So the third one is when your management point and fallback status point, they are on the same server. So we're just taking this example now, and they are on the same server. So if the clients, they can't reach management point, so I think it's highly likely they won't be able to reach fallback status point as well because they're residing on the same server. So Microsoft, they recommend that the fallback status point has to be on a different dedicated server where clients can easily reach. So the fourth is if your management point is HTTP only and clients cannot reach to a management point which is HTTP, so there are high chances that they won't be able to reach if you have fallback status point, and because fallback status point, it uses HTTP communication as well. So what will be the best case scenario? So the best case scenario will be when your management point is HTTPS and clients cannot get to HTTPS management point for whatever reason, and then in that case they will use fallback status point and they will send their messages to fallback status point, which will be HTTP only. So in production, you will install fallback status point on a dedicated server. So it has its own prerequisites. So whenever you install fallback status point on a dedicated server, you must install all the prerequisites. Otherwise, it might not work. So the client might not be able to send the messages to fallback status point. So in that case, you have to install all these prerequisites. So now let's have a look at the prerequisites which we need for fallback status point. So this is the document here. You will find it in the description as well. So in this document, we can see that for Windows 2008, I would say this is for above as well. and you need web server IAS role installed, IAS 6 management compatibility. So you need two features, so Metabase and IAS 6 WMI compatibility. I will show you soon as well on the server. So Bits server extension feature as well. So let's have a look at what we have already installed on this server. So this is our primary site. I will minimize this, and if I go to server manager and I will click on add roles, so click next, and I will select CM01. This is configuration manager server. Click next. So the roles, you can see that I will show you. So here we have web server IAS. So let's extend that, and you can see that web server is selected. And I will extend, see this management tools here, 3 of 7 installed. If I extend that, you can see that I have selected IAS management compatibility. So let's extend this one further. So we have IAS 6 Metabase compatibility installed, IAS 6 WMI compatibility installed as well. So let's go further in features. If I scroll down, we will see, actually it's at the top here. So Bits background intelligent transfer services, extend that, and you will find here IAS server extension is installed as well. So these are the prerequisites which should be installed on the server where you are going to install Fallback Status Point. So in production, definitely you need your dedicated server for Fallback Status Point, and make sure clients can reach to that server easily as compared to your HTTPS enabled management point. So in this lab, we are going to use the same server. I know it defeats the purpose having Fallback Status Point on the same server. However, for learning point of view, it's good enough. We will use that server so that we can see how to check the reports and where the reports are. I will show you soon where we can see the report. If you are using a dedicated server, so make sure you install the mentioned prerequisites on your dedicated server for Fallback Status Point. So now let's have a look at that, how we can install Fallback Status Point. Okay, so this is Configuration Manager server, which is technex-cm01. So I will open console. So then I will go to administration. So in administration, we can see here site configuration, extend that, and we'll see servers and site system roles. Click on it. And here we can see that our one server is mentioned here, which is a primary site as well. So I will right click on it, and we will add site system roles. So click on that. So here's the general information. We are going to use the site server computer account to install this site system. So the site server computer account is member of the local administrator group. So if I right click here, and then we will go to computer management. So in computer management, click on local users and groups, and then in groups, we will see administrators. Double click, and here we can see that technex-cm01 is a member. Okay, so this is why we are using this account. So I click next. Proxy, there's no proxy here. If you have, you can mention it. Click next. System role selection. So we will select Fallback Status Point and click next. So there's not much here. So number of state messages. So this is the limit of number of the messages. And interval here is 3600 seconds, which is 1 hour. So we can minimize this in our lab. However, it depends what's the scenario. So there's a link I found. So number of state messages and throttle interval in seconds. You can read it in your own time, and they have given you scenarios and more information if you would like to change it. So let's go back to our configuration manager. So here, I will leave it as it is for now. Let's click next, and this is the summary, and click next. There you go. So this is done. We can close it. Now we will have a look at the logs. So the log file which we will be looking for is, if we go to this PC, so here we have CM installed. Double click on that, and then we will go to program files, Microsoft Configuration Manager, and here we will look for logs. And in logs, we will look for FSP MSI. So .log file, open that, and this will tell us the installation of this role. So we can see that Windows installer installed the product. The product name is this. Okay, so this means this has succeeded. We can close that off. So the other log which we are interested in is FSP Manager, so which is here fspmgr.log. So if you open that, and then you can find more information here. So no files needed to be copied from staging location. So by default it is doing every 1 hour. So we can change that just to test out some things. So I will minimize this. Let's go back here. We go to administration, and in servers and site system roles, we can see all the roles here. Fallback status point is here. If you right click here, go to properties, and we will update that to 60. So 60 is 1 minute. I'm just doing this for testing. So I will just change it back to 3600 later. So I will click apply and click OK. And then we will see that log. Every minute you will see that this will update every minute. If there's any file, it actually copies over. Otherwise, it will just say that no files need to be copied from the staging location. Okay, so we will check that log file soon. So now the next step is you have to specify your fallback status point. So let's have a look how you can specify the fallback status point in the client installation properties. Okay, so here you can see that it happened on 9:05 as well. Let's minimize this. We'll come back to this shortly. And we will go to administration and then select sites and select your site. And here in the ribbon is client installation settings. So click on it and then click on client push installation. So we will update in installation properties, and here we will update FSP equals the server name. So in our case, it is technex-cm01.technex.local. Okay, so once you have updated that, hit apply and click OK. Alright, so we have done that. So if I go to PC01, which is online, and let's have a look at the logs in PC01. We'll go to Windows, and then we go to CCM, and then we will check logs. So the log which we are interested in is FSP state messages. There will be a log here. Okay, so I can't find any log because it doesn't know if there is a fallback status point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinstall the client on PC01. So let's just do that. So we go to assets and compliance, and then PC01 is online, right click, and then we will just quickly install the client. And I'm going to select uninstall, install from this site, next, and then click next and close. And now we have specified the fallback status point. And even if we look at the CCM setup log on PC01, which is here, PC01, we go back to Windows and then CCM setup logs, and we will look at CCM setup.log. It hasn't updated yet, but it should update shortly. Okay, so it has actually started, and it has detected that there's a change. And now we will check if it has detected the FSP or not. So it's doing its things. So here you go. You can see that from AD, FSP equals technex-cm01.technex.local. So it knows that now there's a fallback status point. Okay, so I'll wait for this to complete, and then we will check FSP state messages.log file. In the meantime, we can have a look at fspmanager.log. So if you open that, you can see that it is updating every minute. So it has started from 9:04, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is because we made that change on the fallback status point earlier. So which we will revert back when we finish with this. So now the client is reinstalled on PC01. We can check out the logs on PC01. So here we can see that CCM setup.log. So CCM setup is this, and successfully deleted the service. And here is FSP state message. Okay, so FSP state message was generated at 9:11. So let's minimize this. And at 9:11:34, at 9:12, it has picked up the message, copied 4 files, and successfully copied 1 file at 9:13. So there's another log we can check out on PC01. So this is, I'm browsing to PC01 $C Windows. We go to CCM, and then in logs, we will look for FSP state message.log. So open that, and here you should see something like this, that this has sent over the messages during these times. So we have seen that clients are sending messages to fallback status point. So if there's a problem, how we can know that, what has happened, what was the message. So to view that, we can check reports if there's any problem. So the clients will report to fallback status point, and you can view the report and see that what was the error. So let's check it out on our Configuration Manager console. All right, so here if we click on monitoring, and by the way, I have installed reporting services on Configuration Manager. So if we have not done that yet, make sure you go ahead and do it so that you can view the reports. Click on the iCard in the top right corner, so you will find the video where I have installed reporting services, and you can check it out how to do that. So if I extend reporting here and then extend reports, okay, so in reports, we will scroll down and we will look into site client information, which is here. So click on that, and here we can see that summary of problems reported to the fallback status point. So double click on that, and then you can view the report. I think it hasn't generated yet. It's retrieving. So there are no errors, has been reported so far. So we can close that. So there are no errors in the reports so far. However, we can force PC01 to log some errors, to log some problems with FSP. So let's do that. For that, we have to enable HTTPS communication only on the site. So first we will enable HTTPS on the site, and then we will force PC01 to log some errors. Let's have a look at it, how we can do that. Okay, so here we will go to administration, and then we will select our site, right click, go to properties. So in properties, we will go to communication security, and then we will select HTTPS only. So the site will only communicate with HTTPS mode. Hit apply and click OK. So now we know that the site is only HTTPS, so nothing else. So we will go to PC01, and what we will do, we will open certlm.msc. So this is a local machine certificate store. So open that, and in here we will go to personal and certificates. We can delete that. Group policy is going to enforce it, and it's going to put it there again. Okay, so before we delete that, let's go back to Configuration Manager, and let's go back to PC01 Windows CCM logs, and in here we will open a log called location services. Okay, so everything is fine so far here in the location services, and we'll go back to PC01, delete the cert, and we will see what will happen. The cert has been deleted. Let's see what will happen here. There you go, there are problems now. So failed to retrieve DNS and all sorts of different problems. Alright, so there are problems now with PC01, and let's try to push the client again. So what we will do, let's minimize everything, and we will go to Assets and Compliance, and we will select PC01, right click, install client, and click next, always install. We will try to uninstall the client which is already there, install from this site, click next and click close. And also now we are going to pay attention on CCM setup log as well. So we'll go back to PC01 and Windows, and here we will click on CCM setup and logs. So we are interested in CCM setup.log file. So double click on that. Okay, so here are errors we can see. Okay, so now at 9:22, so our fallback status manager, it shows that it has moved 2 files. So I'm thinking these are related to PC01. So let's minimize that. Let's go back to our console, and we'll go to monitoring. Okay, so here in site client information, we have summary of problems reported to the fallback status point. So double click on that. Let's see that if the problem has actually came over here in the reports or not. So there you go. So we can see that the problem is there. So if you click on the problem, and we can see that problem has occurred on PC01. So this is how you can utilize fallback status point in your environment, or you can check it out or test it out in your lab the way I did it, the way I forced it. Alright, now let's quickly go back and fix the things that we have broken. So I will close the report. We don't need that report any longer. I will minimize that. Let's close some of the logs. We can double check the logs again. And I will go to PC01 first. And there is no cert here. So I will do gp update /force. So we'll just force it to get the cert. So once this will receive the cert, then we'll push the client again. So it's updating the policy. Policy is updated. Let's do gp update again. So the policy has updated successfully. We will refresh it. So cert is there. That's great. And let's minimize this. We'll go back to Configuration Manager server. So here we have PC01 $C Windows, and we will go to SCCM and logs. So this is the log we're checking on PC01, and the location services log, it should tell us everything is fine there because it has the cert now. There you go, everything is happy there. That's great. And also we can push out the client again. The client, it might fix itself. However, I'll just push the client again on PC01 just to make sure that it is working. I will click next here, allow, uninstall, use this site, next, and next. So that's done. And also on the fallback status point in administration, I will go to site configuration and sites. I will select the site and we will update actually in servers and site system roles. So we will select fallback status point properties. Let's update 60. So I will just replace 3600. That was the default. I will hit apply here and click OK. That's all for this video. And if you find this video informative, give it a thumbs up and show your support. Subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell icon as well. And I will see you in the next video. Have a good one in the meantime. Take care.